Welcome to the Choose on Purpose podcast, where leaders live with intention. I'm your host, Becky Plouts, and today I'm talking about the power of connection. And I want to share with you more about how being seen strengthens relationships and really how being seen fuels your purpose. And I'm really excited to have this discussion and this conversation with you and for you to really just lean in. And the idea of connection as the theme this month is really deep within me. So I'm very excited to be able to talk more about, going from connection to self, thinking about connection to the relationships in our life, and the connection to our greater purpose. And really, connection is a source. It's a source of clarity. It's a source of momentum. And it's a source of courage when we see it and use it as that. So let's keep talking about connection. Let's look for this as a power and a source, a power source, I guess. That's a fun way to put it. And, dive in a little bit more about this. So if you are, of course, a leader, which that is what this whole podcast is about, is knowing that you're a leader. If you're a caregiver, you're a leader. If you are a creator, you're a leader. You're leading yourself in everything that you're doing, whether you fully identify as a leader or not. You are a high capacity woman. And you're a leader. So I'm speaking directly to you as a leader. So there comes a cost to doing things alone. And if you identify as a leader, regardless, I'm sure you can relate to the cost of doing it alone all the time. Now, I was just on a group coaching conversation with the Level Up community, and we were discussing being someone that defaults to going at things alone, or in certain areas, where do we default to being someone that thinks we can do it alone or really tries to do it alone? And understanding that it's not a bad thing to default to wanting to look at how you're responsible, what you can take ownership of, all of those things. I'm someone that can appreciate that. And what we know, and if you don't know, now you'll know, the cost of doing it alone all the time. Well, that's where we have burnout. Okay, that's where you have felt isolated. That's where you have dimmed what you're passionate about because you're overwhelmed in doing it, quote unquote, alone. So remembering that carrying everything alone, eventually it disconnects you. It disconnects you from what you care about most. And that's why I bring up dimmed passion. So that's really what I'm talking about. The vulnerability that can come from not wanting to ask for help, or thinking vulnerability is a weakness. Okay. Vulnerability is a strength when you feel connected, especially in a room where you're not oversharing. Okay. You're having space for you that is far from oversharing, you know, And it's also not needing validation. Vulnerability becomes a strength. And vulnerability as truth, plus having those boundaries, gold. This is gold. So, thinking about this is what I want you to think about. Here's a reflection point. Who knows the real season you're in right now in your life, right? We're all going through something, just got through something, or about to go through something. So, who really knows the season that you're in? And there is, let me just be very clear, the asking for help, that's a normal thing, I would say, especially for a leader, to have some fear around asking for help. We've been conditioned, we've been trained, we've been talked to our whole lives, a lot of us at least, some of us, if you're listening to this, you probably can relate, that it's weak to ask for help, that we need more independence and strength in this way. But vulnerability is strength when it's grounded in this connection point that we're talking about here. Okay. It really fuels, it's taken root through the connection that there's truth, that there's boundaries that support and strengthen it. And connection, right? It really ignites or reignites the desires that we have, those passions that we have in our life. When we find those connection points within ourselves or with other people that can resonate or feel the creativity that's flowing in that connection. That's where we also get to restore the clarity that we have. This makes dreams feel possible again. Connection fuels purpose and creativity on such a deep level. And I know for a fact that purpose thrives when it's shared. Dreams need relationship to stay alive. It is important timing and that trust factor, but dreams need relationship to stay alive. They need that thriveability. I don't know what the word is, but they need the ability to thrive by being witnessed, believed, supported, celebrated in those tiny steps too. So asking for help is important in that. And this is really where I say for myself, and I want to share that reigniting desire for myself has been looking at how excited I feel within me to be crystal clear with myself that I am here to empower women. I'm here to support women in seeing themselves, hearing themselves, and really getting to celebrate and be celebrated in the fact that they're doing challenging things, even that no one knows about. And that's okay. And that they can be celebrated in it as well, that they can see themselves as powerful, capable, resilient, amazing human beings, even when there's emotion, even when it's challenging, even when it's hard. And my muse experience has been that reigniting passion for me. So I have been a photographer for 15 years, and in different variations, and at different capacity levels. And over the last couple of years, as I became a certified success and life coach, as I got back into podcasting, these pieces have been strengthening my purpose for empowering women and holding space, that really made it clear to me that this Muse experience is a relational experience, that it really is about resonance with who she is and who she's becoming. And it's really a place where presence with herself is mirrored to her and held for her to believe in her. Right? It's self-connection deepened through the witnessing, so that the transformation is highlighted instead of glazed over. Right? It's an identity shift that is celebrated instead of, missed. There's relationship strengthening with self that I just love in the mindset work that we do before the photo shoot day, before that visibility piece is really there. Passion really becomes visibility again, or maybe for the first time. And the readiness, the discernment about if a woman is ready to do this experience has been so exciting and fulfilling, to have conversations with women that literally years ago told me never would they even consider doing an empowerment session or a boudoir session, or really any kind of empowerment session, for it to see themselves in a different, meaningful, powerful way, that they said never. And now they're like, this is very intriguing, and they're considering it, which tells me so much about now the timing, like my passion for pairing the coaching with the photography, with the podcasting, to really have it be this full experience that I've always known inside was for me to do. And then I started doing it in layers. Oh, this is a huge power of connection for myself that has just become so apparent in my passion for this Muse 15 project, to have this experience for 15 women, celebrating my growth and evolution as a photographer, coach, and podcaster, like all of that together, to hold space for women at a deep level. So where have you been craving connection? Like right now, where are you craving connection? I want to also encourage you to be asking for that support along the way, and let yourself be seen. And if the Muse experience sounds like something that you'd be ready to even have a discussion about or explore in this season of your life, I encourage you to do that. Take that tiny step in just exploring it. Schedule a call with me, or just look at the page about the information and learn more. And when you get that feeling and that nudge, that yes, give it a go and just apply, I encourage you to do that. Love yourself, live fearlessly, do all things with purpose, and keep looking for that power source of connection. The connection begins with you. Until next week, see you later.